Go back to China. Oh, now we can hear you. Phil, we are gonna kick you out of the stream now. Mm-hmm. Okay, we won't kick you out then. Oh, there he is. Good. We're all here. Yep. Yes. It's getting to me. It's getting to a bunch of people too. I have I was gonna say uh, the coronavirus death count. I think there was a sort of a dispute over that actually. Like there were some people that were saying that you shouldn't be counting certain people if they had coronavirus and died because it might be some other thing, but we all pretty much know what it actually was that uh, was killing people. But so I don't know if those death counts are honestly accurate. Yeah, yeah, it's stupid. speaking of these sort of people, I heard you got to ask our boy Gavin McGinnis a question. So you actually got on his show for a few minutes. How was that? Oh, now you're roasting him. The lore. Yes. Ooh. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Let me guess. Did he say something along the lines of "Hurry up, I don't care"? Uh. Yeah, because I was listening actually just a few hours before. I was watching and listening in the background to his Discord AMA that he uploaded on YouTube, and he was just roasting everyone. No, he's a straight faced joker. No, no, he's not a federal agent. Jesus Christ. That was the funny thing. I was actually watching last night late at night when I should have been going to sleep. Was Alex Jones bullhorning the KKK in Waco, Texas? Yeah, I mean that's a crazy like trifecta right there. Alex Jones, KKK, and Waco all in one package, and he was like, "You're all." He's like, "Which one of you is a federal agent?" And they were like trying to do this like rally thing on I think some sort of government building steps. He's like, "You're all feds. Which one of you's a federal agent?" "Oh, I know which one it is. It's you. You're a fed." And he just would keep going on and on. It was one of the funniest, like most underrated moments. Sure, they did. Mm-hmm. Really, we stream every night or so at this time. The radio. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, our channels, but some of our streams gotten some good views. I mean, I need to share some Twitter stuff. I'm multitasking right now, but I will do that, and that usually bumps us up. But what we've been doing now, and I'm doing it right now, is we've been sort of streaming while playing Minecraft or something to kind of have some more visual element to it and give us something to do. Cool thing is though, and you can check this out on our streams or if anybody's watching on Sam's channel, they can check it out on the Versa Media channel. Is we are helping build Penn State campus in Minecraft. I shit you not, like a lot of the campus is already built. All the dorms are built for the most part. Actually, no, the North dorms aren't. No, actually, no, they're working on those too. So most of the dorms are built. Some of the big buildings are built. I've been actually helping out. It's pretty cool, and it's impressive. Like it's genuinely impressive. I was showing my girlfriend the whole thing last night, and she was like blown away. Like it's really well done. They've even been doing the interiors too. So check that out, especially if you're at Penn State soon. And we got some media coverage over it too. So it's fabulous. I personally think he's alive. I think he's alive. This is fake news from CNN or something or TMZ. Yeah. Yeah. It's like what the Democrats are doing with Joe Biden and RBG. Yeah, let's talk about the Me Too shit. Did you guys see that? Yeah, makes sense. But she never said. Yeah, that's a you problem. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean the funny thing with the Biden Me Too stuff is that it's kind of cropped up recently again because of some the mother of one of the, I guess you could say it's now an accuser. She called into Larry King's show years ago, and they dug up a clip where she said some stuff. I'm gonna look it up in a second, but that's been making the rounds, and even like the hashtag dropout Biden or something along those lines, or Joe dropout, I forget what it was trending on Twitter #5 today. So it's picking up some steam, and it is something else to talk about other than coronavirus. I think I said in the Discord. And Dropout Biden. Yes, Dropout Biden was trending on Twitter, and I think some on the left are a little concerned, but I don't think he will actually drop out. I still think he's gonna make it to the end, and Kamala Harris will be his VP. But she'll be really who people are actually voting for, I think. What was that? um, Especially with the fashy haircut, as they call it. You mean if they're like fashy haircuts, as the left was calling them? So that's the thing about these people, and even Gavin was saying this on his Discord AMAs. These ultra trad people, and it's always the case. They're always massive hypocrites. They're like, oh, we wanted to preserve the white race. Oh, we want to, get a wife and all this jazz. And I don't see them dating. I don't see them with anyone. Some of them, I do know one person. I know who you're thinking of, but many of them aren't really doing what practicing what they preach. I mean, Lauren Southern did do it, but we all know what her past is, and if we really need to go into that, oh, that's a fun one. I know, I know what you mean. Yeah. She took it a bit too literally. She took it a bit too literally. To put it bluntly, she allegedly slept around with every person in the right wing movement and had them write her shit for for her. Oh man, did you even see? I posted, I think, in our Discord. Did you see that she had a wedding recently? And and you saw her big belly and her kid. Mm. Yeah, I thought you had. I thought you said Lauren Southern was your wife at some point. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the thing is, like with like Lauren Southern was clearly an attractive woman. She was young, but she kept preaching all this trad shit, and she obviously wasn't so trad. And she right after Milo released, right before Milo released that, or was it before or after? I feel right around Milo released that article. She quote unquote retired, left the movement, left everything after making this massive, pinnacle of her career documentary. Did no promotion, nothing for it, just released it and that's it. And that shit came out about her video producers being slimy, backstabbing pieces of crap. And then she also has a wedding shortly after. I wonder if she left for two reasons. It was number one, the bad shit of keeping the video producers around that were doxing people. And I also wonder if she acts. I wonder how intentional that pregnancy was. You know? I wonder if there was a oopsie, and so she's like, oh boy, gotta settle down now. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's I don't know if we'll talk about on this show, but we've dealt with some pretty treacherous people recently, and it's dude, some of these people in these movements can be fake as shit, and it's like, well, because for me, I've stopped arguing, except like at protests or or somebody major or something when a Democrat like once again to an argument. Like I've just stopped doing it because it's a waste of time. But if somebody really comes after me or smears me, like then I'll start tussling. But or if it's at a protest at one of our events, it's like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. But other than that, it's just a waste of time. But then you have people like when you're trying to build a team, build a coalition, and actually do something, make some progress, do something productive, and do something effective. That's when you really quickly separate your friends from your enemies, and your friends from your true friends. Um, like especially like when elections happen during uh, for clubs. These people's true colors start coming out. And I'll keep it vague for now, unless you guys want to dive into more on this. But Yeah, please do. We know. Okay, we know somebody who is in the Penn State college Republicans who lied to a veteran's face and everybody else's face to get power in the club. This person told, okay, there's a lot of lore to this, a lot of context, but basically, a Army Ranger decorated veteran was running for the CR presidency last school year. When I mean last, I don't mean the current one we're in right now. I mean like actually last. Um, and he was running for it, and he paid his to run for something. You need to be an active member. To be an active member, you need to attend 4 meetings, pay dues. Well, he did that. They said the current board at the time, which he was on but not as president, um, they told him, oh, you didn't pay dues. So he paid them again. And they said, oh, you didn't pay your dues. It was just such bullshit, and we're going to pay it again. Like, election day came around. We're like, all right. We'll do it again. He'll count as an active member. He's been to enough meetings. Like, he can fucking run, right? They still said, no, he can't do that. They did it deliberately to, as Phil would say, railroad him to prevent him from running because they know he would win. And more context, our college Republicans is run by a bunch of cucks, a bunch of establishment elitist cucks who didn't want to endorse Trump in 2016 and pretty much prevent it from happening. Was run by a registered Democrat at the time. We literally have his voter registration. Like, somebody showed it to us. Like, it's fucking like legitimate. He was a registered Democrat at the time. But the new administration during last year prevented a decorated veteran, we're going to call him Captain America, from running. And so this other guy said, because he was popular among people and he knew he would win, because the person that Captain America was running against basically had to drop out due to a whole bunch of other reasons. And this was also, while this was happening, dues money was getting lost. Not just Captain America's, but other people's was getting lost. There were no receipts, nothing. They then, this other person said, like, all right, I'll run, and maybe I'll keep the presidency. Maybe I'll give it to you. We were trying to make him sign a pledge saying he would step down the following year, and then Captain America could run again. But he didn't sign that pledge, which immediately was raising my eyebrows. But I was like, okay, maybe he just doesn't feel comfortable with it. I don't know. Could be a lot of reasons why I wouldn't want to do that. But he said, okay, maybe I'll give you the presidency next year. I'll step down, or maybe I'll just help you out and give you another position if that's what you want. Like, we'll help you out. Like, basically, the reassurance was, I'm gonna help you out. This person totally lied. Did nothing for Captain America the following year. In fact, he has some corruption near the end of his term this year. He initially didn't want to count me as an active member for complicated reasons. That was the implication I was getting, in my opinion. But he also instructed his treasurer to break university policies and reimburse his buddies, his establishment cuck buddies, CPAC expenses without going through the university bank. Basically, that's what it's called, university bank. It's called ASA. It's basically like the club's bank account under the university where you put money in, and you have to reimburse them through that. He didn't want to do that. He was instructing his treasurer to just count them, I think it was as donation money or something. He wanted to do some weird thing. I don't have the details in front of me right now, but he wanted to do a real weird thing where he didn't want to reimburse them properly, which totally breaks the rules. He didn't want to use ASA. He just wanted to totally circumvent it, which is unbelievably corrupt. One of the more corrupt things ever. When I saw that, I was like, holy shit, this is pretty bad. And so the treasurer put all this out there in a group me telling people, like, hey, this is what's fucking happening. This is crazy shit. Like, I'm not going to do this. As your treasurer, I'm not going to break university policy. And so he backtracked that, thankfully. But recently, I mean, this is a lot of context. I'm sorry, but there's a lot to explain here. During the elections, a fake Republican was running. This person, you just had to do a few Google searches. He even told us the first bit, which was that he interned for local Democratic campaigns twice. Fuck. He was so proud. He's like, oh, I was just trying to understand the other side. I'm like, bull fucking shit. You don't work and help the other side to understand them. You can watch CNN, you can talk to people, but working with them, helping them, putting your time and energy in for them is not fucking just understanding the other side. And he admitted this. It was like the first thing he told me in our conversations. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude? I do some Google searches. He attended climate change protests at Penn State, spoke at them. He liked multiple tweets by Pete Buttigieg and Students for Pete, and even tweeted hashtag Students for Pete. And the mother of all loads that I found was when I went to his blog, his pretentious little blog, and I found an article where he talked about how he joined in chants at our TPUSA event, hosting Sargon of Akkad and Hunter Avalon. He bragged about joining in chants with the protesters. This dude is a total phony, fake piece of crap. Like, oh my god, my anger's starting to boil. And I was so angry that people were believing his bullshit and that he was getting away with this. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Another fucking we've seen this story before. It's happening again. And so I questioned him about it. He gave me bullshit answers. He's like, oh, as a journalist, I was just I like to people watch, and this was just a dramatic opening. I'm like, bullshit, dude. You're the shittiest journalist, most biased journalist in the world that would be perfect for CNN. I bet they're on their knees. They'd want to hire you. Or you're lying to me, and you actually did attend these protests. We have them on video. Like, people that filmed the protests, they have them on video there. Like, he was clearly there with them. So I'm mad at this. I call him out for this, like during the elections, and the reason I called him out was because he deleted this blog post. This blog post had been on his website, and I already archived it. I'm not stupid. I know people delete shit. You know, then I archived it, saved it, so I'd have it for reference, and he deleted it right before the elections. I'm like, rather suspicious, isn't it? And so I call him out for it at the election. I ask him about it because I am the president of Turning Point USA Penn State. This was our event. We put work into this shit, and you came and protested, and you're calling yourself a Republican, a conservative that believes in free speech bullshit. You don't. You don't give a shit. You're a total fake. And so I asked him about it, and I told everybody what I thought about him. Honestly, I'm not going to hide my feelings. I'm going to be honest with people. And so I told him, I said, look, this guy, he's a rhino at the minimum. I don't know what else he is, but like, this dude's full of shit is what I basically said. And then after the elections, and I mentioned his Pete Buttigieg tweet likes and all that shit. His Twitter is privated. That's interesting. The article's back up, and I'm banned on I'm blocked on Facebook. He blocked me on Facebook. I'm like, oh, he doesn't like me. And I'm like, okay, I must have hit a nerve here. I must have found something. And so the fact that his article came back up after the election raised some eyebrows. So I mentioned it in the group me. I was like, hey, why is it reposted now? I just asked a question. I wasn't being a dick. I wasn't even being really trolly or anything. I just asked him, like, dude, why is this back up now? And he gave me this long, like, wishy-washy academic answer. It made no fucking sense. And then the president of CRs got triggered by this. He got triggered by me questioning a clearly fake Republican that even he was saying was fake, and did some pretty, I'll say, aggressive things to... This is just for Penn State, but a lot of people know about the shit that goes down here. Like, it's... Yeah. Yeah, and then so after this, I know I'm getting near the end, trust me. It's long, but there's a lot of context that needs to be laid out. So the president of the CRs at Penn State got triggered by me asking a simple question, and started texting me saying, "Oh, you're not gonna be like Phil here and just like starting drama." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I thought you agreed with me on this. I thought we're on the same side that this dude's a fake. Like, I know what you did. You actively tried to pull an endorsement from this dude. Um, like I know you don't like him. Like, let's be real." And it's once I said I was trying to hold the cucks, rhinos, and fake Republicans accountable, is when his true colors started to show. He tried to associate me with Nazis, alt-right Nazis, and tried to smear me, which he knows me better, or at least like he should. I told him like, dude, they hate me and I hate them. And he started bringing up Captain America into this. Our Army veteran dude tried to run, and he starts saying, "Well, he had some." He said that he tried to associate him with those people too, the alt right Nazis. And I said like, dude, do you think he's a Nazi too? And he's like, well, he did have some questionable beliefs. I'm like, what fucking questionable beliefs? He's like, well, his foreign policy stance like weren't a fan. I'm like, dude, like, cut the shit here. Like, what is this? Like, I was going back and forth with him, and then I mentioned at one point like about the deal he made with him, like that he would help him out. And then he said, and this is where it gets spooky, is he like a fucking movie villain, like a Disney villain. He goes, "Oh, you thought that was real?" He's like, "Wait, did you think all that was real?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Quote, so and so's my roommate. So and so is one of my closest friends. Did you really think I wanted Captain America? Come on, Sean. I thought you were smarter than that." And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like reading this. I was on with Alex and Phil here. I'm like, I couldn't believe what I was reading. And I was like, I need to clarify this for certain. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You lied to my face and Captain America's face when you said you'd help him. And he goes, 100%. Gotcha. I'm like, why did you do all of this to us? And he goes, pretty simple, Sean. I wanted the Nazis out of the club. You were fine with putting a guy that welcomed them with open arms in the presidency. So I took it. I took it, is what he said. And I said, you lied and screwed over a combat veteran, over a handful of people that nobody liked and would leave the club anyway. You know the Nazis forced Captain America out of BMP when he was keeping the club normal and fighting Nazis, right? And he goes, yeah, I know that, but they liked him and he tolerated them. Couldn't have that. His veteran stats had nothing to do with it, Sean. And it just went on from there a little bit. Like, I couldn't believe this dude. He's like revealing like his master plan. Like, it's the end of the movie. You got the hero and the villain are like cornered, and the villain's like, "Ooh, here's my master plan. Ooh, I conned you all along." You know, he's just going off on this. Like, "Ooh, I got you. I thought you were smarter." It's like, what do you fucking think you are? Like this grin on his face, like a Cheshire grin, and he goes off. And I finally told him, I was like, dude. And then he started invoking God, which pissed me the fuck off. I hate when people use religion like that. He started invoking God. And then at one point he said, I won, Sean. He just goes, I won. And I finally gave him like a final few blurbs of what I was feeling. I was honest with him. I was like, dude, like, what you've done is totally disgusting. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen at Penn State. Like, this is awful. And I told him, like, dude, you can't keep living your life backstabbing good honest veterans like that. Like, this dude is a good person and you're just gonna be miserable. Like, I was being straight up with him. I'm telling him, warning him, and he ends it with, good advice, Sean. Thank you so much. It's all over. Time to move on. Thanks for everything. Bitch, this shit is never over. I've talked enough, so you guys can go on off on this dude. He really angers me. Like, I was so angry, upset, and cheated reading that live. Like, I was so upset, so angry that he would screw over a veteran like that for power. Like, it's making me upset now. Like, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Wait, who is this? Oh shit. It's Captain America. Yeah. It is so despicable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He Here's the thing is like we all gave him the benefit of the doubt for the most part because he seemed like he'd be different from the past administrations and the past presidents. He said he'd support Trump. He was saying, "Oh, there's gonna be dues receipts. There's gonna be no more corruption. All these things. We're gonna help Rob. Yada yada." He told us every fucking little thing we wanted to hear, and it was all a fucking lie. And he lied to me for literally and everyone and veterans for an entire school year. It's literally been like a year since the last election, and it was a total lie. And he's like, "Oh, I thought you knew the whole time. I thought you were smart." Like, fuck you. Like, oh. And that last condescending thing he said to me, like, "Good advice, Sean. Thank you." It's like, well, fuck you too. I mean, I can't. If there's one thing I always try to be with people's honest. I mean, I sometimes, it can be hard when I don't want to say something mean to somebody, but I want to be honest. I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. But at the end of the day, I push for honesty, always. And if there's nothing that I hate more than fake, phony pieces of crap like this, I just hate fakeness. Fakeness is just one of the worst qualities. Like I could never marry somebody that's fake. I can never befriend somebody that's fake. I just hate it. I hate it so much. Good call. Good call. To a veteran. And it's one thing, like, if he did this to just any normal Joe, like, it'd be bad. But he did to a veteran who has seen shit, who has, like, had bullets whirling past his head. I mean, the things I can't even imagine the things Captain America has done for our country and for his ass to be comfortable and high and mighty. And he just he screws him over, lies to him, betrays him over a college club. Yeah. We're using nicknames here because like that was a nickname we've been running with for every time we mention him because I don't know if he wants his identity revealed, but yeah, it's compassion. It was absolutely diabolical. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, CRs didn't have a single fucking event this year other than a few debates with the college Dems, and those were fucking like nothing. They were boring, lame, stupid, and pointless and ineffective. I mean, if you're gonna have a debate, like let's have a fucking proper debate, and they couldn't do that. They had no great debate. They had no 9/11 run. Turning Point had to partner with a new one done by Captain America to actually do something for veterans because CRs couldn't step up to the plate. And when I say need to, I don't mean that in like, or had to, I don't mean that in like it was like a chore, but it was like an obligation. The fact that they were dropping the ball upset me and many other people. And so we're like, okay, well, we want to do charity work. It's a great opportunity to get started on it. I mean, yes, they kind of did thon, but they always do thons. Like, that's not much work. They just pick people to dance and they show up and really like, yeah, something like that. Even those have scary stories coming out of them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of phone banking. The Trump campaign's been doing a lot of phone banking. Old people. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. Mm. Well, yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like Alex said, I think it again important to reemphasize that Trump has a businessman's mind. Fauci has a scientist's mind, so they're going to be looking at these things differently. Like a good example is hydroxychloroquine. Trump's like, hey, let's try it. It has benefits. The benefits outweigh the costs. Let's try it. Whereas Fauci's like, no, we need to do all these studies and shit like that. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. But I get where you're coming from. It does make sense, but it's just a difference of a different way of looking at things. Now with the reopening, I don't know how long ago you listened to that, but they're sort of constantly evolving on when and how we're going to reopen. So I wouldn't put too much concern over that, but I'm more concerned about Fauci's previous statements and things. Well, before this was uh, really blowing up in America, he said that, oh, this is nothing to worry about, and a bunch of other things. Like he sounded like he was, and he's really, I don't get how he. I wonder how he really feels about the WHO, World Health Organization. I mean, I do question. I wonder if we're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if we come out of this when it's all said and done. I mean, not only will the World Health Organization's reputation be shattered. I mean, it already kind of is. We're probably gonna pull out of that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fauci is not as highly regarded as we enter this crisis. I think like all the time person of the year is going to be all the doctors and people on the front lines, but he, well, I think that's actually good. I mean, I think there are people more deserving of an award like that than Fauci, because Fauci, look, I don't doubt for a second all the amazing accomplishments he's had. But I am a little concerned about some of the recent things he said. He's a little confusing at times and unclear. I think the last press conference was actually fantastic. It was to the point, quick, speedy, and I did miss the media bashing for a bit, but maybe they need a little break from it to piss them off just a tiny bit. But dude, Trump has just been killing at those pressers, like going after the media. He's been making power moves every week. It seems like an issue has been going like every day, but man, he was giving media the shit they deserve, and it was beautiful. No, we have not. No, we have not. No, we're not even close. Mm-hmm. Yes, but the problem is, like, I'm looking on a map for my uh, county right now. We initially, I know it's just one county, but it kind of is. This is a similar story in many other places. It was only for the longest time in March. It was like one case a day, two, three. Then near the end of March, it was hitting a lot. Now in April, we're getting 100 cases, new cases every day. Yes, there's probably more testing. Yes, it's probably a bunch of other factors, but it is spreading more, I think. You would think at the same time. I think I actually, yeah, I'm gonna clarify. I said I do think so, but, and here's the big but, the number of new cases is still going up. It's not slowing down. That's the case for a lot of other areas. So I think the best thing, I know, but here, mm-hmm, yeah. The thing is, and this is where I think we still need to stay locked down like we are for um, at least another 2 3 weeks at the very least, because just this week did I finally see everyone in my grocery store wearing masks. Before it was like most people did. Now it's finally everyone's is masked up, and it's even mandated. Like going into my Wawa, there was a sign that says, "By Pennsylvania law, you have to wear a mask." It's gonna need to be locked down like this for a little bit longer, and then I think what will happen is we can go back to work, go back to a bunch of things, but we still have to wear a mask. We still have to socially distance. I think that's what will start happening, but that curve needs to be flat more. It needs to be going downward more. The White House's guidelines of the three phases is what needs to be followed. That is the smart way to deal with it. I mean, yeah, I think we definitely need the law, and I think since well, yeah, and I'm getting to that. Since the supply has gone way up and they're way more available, um, if for some reason you cannot get one, then I think there should be something where, like, if they, let's say a cop pulls you over, and if you say I can't buy one, they say fine. But if you do have one and you're not wearing it, I, no, they can't. That's no, it's not that simple. Because you need materials. You need materials. You need to manufacture it. You need to ship it. Well, you can print money. You can't just print mass. Like, it's not that simple. That's yeah, and he had to. If that can be done, that'd be nice. But well, I think some of the also the mandatory masking is not necessarily along the lines of like you can't walk outside with a mask. It's more of you can't go into, let's say, like, I don't want to say grocery store, but like somewhere where it's super crowded, and not have a mask or something. That's what I think needs to happen. It's like, yeah, you can still go out, but like you can't go to certain places without one. I think they should, but again, that's easier said than done when we have a shortage. I would prefer that. I again, it needs to be locked down. People need to stay inside for long because the problem is people. I Yes, that too, but I think the other issue is people that don't think they have it. Once people are like angry, like, oh, we need to go back to work right now, and then they go out there and they spread it, and it gets worse, and then we have to lock down again. Like, that's what I don't want to happen. We already do. I mean, yeah, but the problem here's where the problems come in with that. There was one, I think, locally near me. I remember my mother was telling me about it. Somebody had coronavirus at the plant, so they had to shut the whole thing down. It was like a meat plant. So you got to be very careful who you let back into those jobs, because then it might create a whole new worse problem. Yeah, dude, fuck veganism. It's cancer. You animal killer. You murderer. Oh god, almond milk is like, it's not bad actually. I did try. My girlfriend made me try it once. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad, but like, it's so like you can only drink. At least for me, like after a few sips, I'm like, I can't have anymore. It's just too much. Mm. those protesters, I understand that. Yeah, I understand where they're coming from because people do need money, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck, which you should never do. But if you're doing it, I understand the anxiety, and I also understand people getting little crazy, a little annoyed being inside all the time. But when they're not socially distancing, when they're not wearing masks, even if they can, and when they were cheering people that were taking masks off, that is so stupid. It like makes me frustrated. Like these are Trump supporters too, and they're making us look bad. It's a pandemic. Yeah, but it's a pandemic. That's stupid. Is stupid. No, have you heard the? Well, look up the bubonic plague. Way. Yeah, and they had way more deaths. Like way more. You, yes, but they're endangering other people, and they're spreading the virus. Like it is. Well, okay, but again, this is an. But we give the president emergency powers, and he's exercising them. Yeah, and I have no problem with it because it's an emergency, and you need to act quickly in this, or else more people are gonna die, more people are gonna get infected. All these protesters are protesting because they're healthy. When they get sick, or at least they think they're healthy, when they get sick, I don't want to hear a word from them about any of this. The protesters trigger me. I'm sorry. Like recently, they've triggered me. Well, I don't even think it's that hard because if we vaguely know, yeah, 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 well, and I think the other thing, well, well, to me, I totally understand that. And I think it's totally understandable. It's because they didn't want people to be, people that weren't sick going out buying a shit ton of masks as much as they were of toilet paper and stocking up on it and hoarding it. And then the people that were actually sick and infected, and the people that need the nurses and doctors that need masks couldn't get them. That's what they were concerned about, and I totally understand why they did that. Well, they won't. I think it's also going to depend state by state and area by area. Like New York's going to be the last to reopen, but that's true. It's only some beaches. Mm, right. Mm-hmm. Well, but I think that's pretty reasonable, and I think that's what you're going to see with a lot of other things. Is it's going to slowly go in like that. Mm-hmm. They're not. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure the reason, but one thing I will add to that is this is something Mark Cuban's talked about, and he's absolutely right on it, which is when we do start to reopen, there's probably gonna this is gonna be complicated, but it's probably what's gonna happen is certain businesses are gonna need certain guidelines. Restaurants are gonna need different guidelines and a lot of other things because it involves food and the way people are interacting with each other, and there's a lot like in or even stores with clothes. Like what happens if somebody touches a shirt, doesn't want it, and puts it back? Like what do you do with that shirt? There's a lot of little details are going to need to be worked out because it can open up a lot of problems. That's why, as much as I want to reopen, I want to stay safe. I want to slow the spread because if we rush into reopening things, it is going to go back up. And it's just going to be, okay, hard shutdown all over again. So, like when Trump says like reopening is going to be like the most important decision of his life, like I know exactly what he means because that's a make or break thing. If he does it at the right time, things will be good. It's the states. Yeah, and that's the smart thing he's doing is leaving it up to the states, and that's super smart thing because, for example, Wyoming has like hardly any cases, and they will be able to reopen sooner than other states. I think travel and immigration is going to be shut down for a long time because that was the source of it mainly was travel, people coming in bringing the virus, and that's going to need to be shut down for a long time. Oh Jesus Christ! We need to think about our truckers. And I bet Cosmic Rebecca is. That's a good impression you're doing of your friend Big Al. But if you're still in contact with him, I mean, I know he's still got Twitter. I hope his DMs are open. But he, I would tell him to check in on Cosmic Rebecca. I hope she's doing okay. Again? Did you just say again? Wait, what? Shit. Whoa, wait. Can I? I, don't. Know. That's. Uh. uh, 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 Shit, really? Oh, okay. I know what we'll be doing after the stream, boys. At least you admitted it. He got you. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, there you go. Now you're honest. uh, I was gonna say. Hey, I can laugh at it, but I'm not gonna actively look it up. Well, it's funny you mention all this like porn talk because like when I opened up YouTube right now, I saw the most like risque ad I think I've ever seen on YouTube. Um, because I was checking the comments on the stream. I'm gonna post in the Discord, so Skype doesn't have to access my photos. I know I'm such a cuck, but I posted in the general chat on Discord. It's just like it's oddly like risque, like begging you, like, oh, check out my ass. Well, what kind of pizzas can you order there? Axe. Come. Sam, cheese pizza. Watch your wording on that one. I was gonna say, Sam. If you're wondering why your channel has been shadow banned, well, I think the answer has revealed itself. I think we already found out why. Oh shit! So it wasn't our fault. The thing. Oh my god. Do it. Do an unboxing. Trump bucks. Wait, you can get banned. I love how you can get banned for not being pornographic enough. And I understand why it exists, so people aren't like advertising their own shit or something on there, but like that's just funny. Oh my god. I wouldn't mind that. Wait, what type of guns are we talking about? I wonder how much the porn traffic has increased during the coronavirus. Like, if you can't be if you're a chick, you're like, hey, what am I gonna do? I'm a simple man. Yeah. All strippers have become cam girls now. They're all getting OnlyFans accounts. Like, oh, let's talk about that. You know about the iDub shit, Sam, right? No, the iDubs. Do you know who iDubs is? And it's okay. I mean, I really didn't even know much about him until recently. Like, I mean, I remember like I'd hear his name a few times, but he used to be this kind of like, I think you classify him as like edgy. Is what you told me, Alex, like a YouTuber that was kind of like a, I don't want to say a menemist, but like he definitely wasn't PC with how he talked about women and other things. And recently, people found out his girlfriend, who's way out of his league, has what's called an OnlyFans account. Do you know what OnlyFans is? Yeah, so for those who don't know, it's a basically a app or what a service where you can post like anything from, yeah, it's basically a premium Snapchat that is on Snapchat. So you can post anything from just sexy photos of yourself to straight up porn. And his girlfriend apparently only posts the sexy photo types. But iDubbbz, really? What'd he say? Cool. Well, okay, we don't know the full extent of it then, but um, we'll have to. Somebody will have to investigate for us. I said somebody, not us, listeners and viewers. It's only, I don't know how much it is, but like let's say it's only $10 a month. You know, it's Netflix or it's that. It's a RuneScape fan. But the funny thing is, he made a video defending the shit out of it. Like, this is probably how the term simp really blew up, was because of him, really. I, simp. Yeah, he's a fucking simp. Like, he transcends cuck and becomes a simp. He puts pussy on a pedestal like you wouldn't believe. He defends the shit out of his girlfriend for having one. He's like, I don't care if she has one. And you know what? I'm cool with it. I think it's cool. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If my girlfriend did that, I'd be pissed. And, any decent girl, I would assume safely, would be beyond disgusted and annoyed if her man was okay with that. Like, that is total beta bitch behavior. And people are beta simp. Um, and people are like, people are like, oh, why are you so upset about this? Like, and he was like that way too. I'm like, you people need to have standards for people in society, like expectations. Like, and they're like, oh, I don't care what he does. It's like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not gonna like go to his house and be like, you can't let your girlfriend do this. But it's like, let's try to hold people to some sort of standards. Like, don't be a bitch, don't be a beta, don't be a cuck, and especially don't be a simp. I mean, just it's just disgusting behavior. It shouldn't be encouraged. It's really just like weak and pathetic. And to be okay with your girlfriend doing that is like really weird, to be honest. I mean, it's really just he yeah. Yeah, it shows you have no standards for her, no really value. Like, if you really valued her, you wouldn't be cool with that. But he's cool with it. Like, he's literally cool, and I'm using the term he used with it. And, he's like, well, why shouldn't she? He basically is like, I'm totally cool if my girlfriend sells her body online to some incels and they jerk off to her. It's totally fine with me. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, 12's just rainbows. The people that, like, defend him. I mean, H3H3, yeah. His defense was, oh, it's not even porn. Like, oh, she's not even showing tits and ass. I'm like, dude, like, it's still bad. It's like, oh, he only killed. It's like the people that defend like these these socialists and communists that defend these dictators. Like, oh, they only killed 2 million of their own people. Hitler killed 13 million. It's like, yeah, still are just they're both fucking bad. Okay, you know. Oh boy, is this a war story? Ooh, I love this. Here we go. Aww. Oh Jesus. Fucking thought. Oh boy. He knew her by heart. That's worse. You want to sit down? You want a refill? Go to www dot. Yeah. How many was she in? Like, was she hardcore? Was she like, really like, was she making series? How deep into this was she? Prenup. Oh no. Oh, it's fucking expensive. Yeah, it's one top line Audis. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. You don't. Was he pulling an eye dubs and he's like, "Oh, I'm cool with it. It's not that bad, bro." Damn. No pain, no gain, right? Oh fuck. Oh. Yes. Yeah. Jesus. Pff, I wonder why. No bitch. What? uh yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, damn. I was like, how many people here know porn stars? Uh-oh. A playmate? Elaborate. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Did Hugh have a casting couch? That's what you should have asked. Ooh. Fucking Chad right here almost had her number. Dude, I feel bad for you. Like you should like if when they offered you the chewing tobacco, you should be like, no, I want to chew on something else. Fuck off. That's true. Well, as long as you wear a rubber, you should be fine. Well, yeah, but don't they protect against like 99, except maybe like the ones in the hairs, right? You could break that break that quarantine. I think we all know the answer to that. It's a yes. Florida man is real. We are all Florida man. We are all Florida man. Oh my god, that's so funny. It's such a just crazy, like weird part of America. Like you wouldn't expect Florida, and then you hear the shit that comes out of there, and you're just like, oh my god. They can't be real. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right. One doesn't just become a Florida man. It is a it is a deep yes. Mm. Ooh. So if I so her name was Sean. See, I would never date her because I would make me feel so egotistical just calling her by my name. Be like, hey, Sean, you're so wonderful. You're so hot. Man, I love you, Sean. Whoa. Wait, does her last name begin with an M? Oh, okay. Oof. Yeah, that something along those lines may have happened. Alex can relate to this one. Book. It's gonna be a fucking show. No. We're not writing a shit. We're not writing a fucking book. We're going directly to Netflix with the script, being like, "Hey, this shit." Yeah, we won't give away our idea entirely because somebody else. Well, we have the source materials. I guess they can't, but we. Oh, is he the guy that did the Owen documentaries? No. Well, Taylor Kitsch. Mm. Mm-hmm. two things. Number one, the Waco miniseries had a uncredited production company, and I know why it's uncredited because it was the Weinstein Company. Um, Secondly, what I never understood about the series is why is everybody talking about it now? It was made in 2018. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's just like like people are like I mean I've known about Waco for quite a while. That's why I'm shocked. Like, I mean I learned about it a few years ago. I think you mentioned it, Alex, because you mentioned we're talking about Alex Jones. He's the one that really covers that probably better than most people. Like, if anything, I know the mainstream media and Netflix wouldn't want anybody to do this, but you really gotta watch Alex Jones's documentary and read and listen to the stuff he's said and done about. I mean, say what you will about him, but he was like confronting the fucking like FBI, doing all kinds of shit where he was like getting more deep into it than anybody else. Mm-hmm. Well, from my understanding, what happened with Waco was like there was this religious cult in this barn thing or this like compound, and I forget what happened that got the ATF involved, and they didn't comply, and they eventually pulled in some tanks and other shit, and it's disputed as who fired the first shot, but the FBI basically like massacred this entire cult. Mm. So then you get like it's funny with this thing is you get like different fractions of the political spectrum kind of coming together in a way on this, but also coming at different perspectives. Like you have the hardcore libertarians, like, oh, the government, so evil, and then you have the conspiracy theorists or the people like myself. They're more sort of just what's it called, cynical. They're just like, that's some crazy shit. Like, holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Like, that should be investigated. There should be shit done about that. Oh yeah, I stole that from Alex. Ron Swanson. Yeah. That's why I posted it, because I was like, I have some libertarian friends on Facebook. I'm like, I know they're gonna get triggered just a little bit by it, and they should because this is accurate. Yes. Free joke, Zach. Mm. Yeah, you do. Yeah. That's Chad. Mm. Oh, Jeff Lowe, dude, fuck, I hate that dude so much. He's like the one person other than Carol Baskin that I legitimately hate. He's so greasy, slimy, disgusting. Yeah. Well, apparently he claims that was a joke, that was a troll, but I don't know with him. Mm. I hated how he would like he would put the cats in his luggage, like his fucking luggage, and bring him to these hotel rooms to like bait chicks. I'm like, dude, you're such a Chad wannabe. I mean, he's so slimy. And then he has this like fucking hitman that's his right hand man. Like, dude, that's just stupid, like dangerous business practice. And he's totally like cool with it. I can see it, but like those two people get away with everything in the end. And I get the feds are saying that they're gonna investigate him and all that, but like Joe takes the fall, and to be honest with you, Joe is probably the least worst of all of them. And then and some are saying like there's this now Fox is gonna be making some sort of they're trying to jump on the bandwagon. They're going to be making some documentary, and they're like, well, we don't even know if Joe shot those tigers, is what one of the ads was saying. And I don't know if that's true, but I mean, the, me too. Oh, yeah. And he is hard to hate. No matter how many terrible things he does, he's still hard to hate. Like, he even ran for libertarian president or governor. They're seeing the light. Mm hmm. He has. Mm hmm. That's the thing is like he's genuinely a complicated person. Like it is not does the bad outweigh the good? Maybe, but he's genuinely not an awful person. Like some people think he's now Carol Baskin. Oh my god. The minute I saw her, she pissed me off because I could tell she was this fake, weird, creepy cat lady. And I was just like, I just hated her the minute I saw her. And she fucking, we all know what she fucking did. Mm hmm. Oh shit. Mhm. 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 Oh, so you got Carol Baskin like in your recommend on Facebook? Well, because they showed the documentary that she based like when Joe rented a helicopter and got footage of it, that it was totally mismanaged, and it was like they weren't taking care of the cages and shit like that. Like she's just as bad as Joe. Like she acts like she's this angel. Yeah, she murdered her husband allegedly. Oh god. Well, here's the thing about they even said like the feds had a hard time pinning the attempt to murder or assassin, whatever it's fucking called, a murder for hire. That's it, murder for hire charge on Joe. So they had to bring up other shit. And I'm still confused. Like, did he actually like say to the hitman dude, go kill Carol Baskin? Because they show stuff on the screen, but they didn't show like screenshots. They didn't show emails. Like, I'm really confused as to what he really said or didn't say. Mm-hmm. I'll get you. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good you mentioned that. Free Roger Stone. Roger Stone did nothing wrong, as he's saying. I mean, that man. I'm glad his gag order was lifted, but that man has been screwed over. Pardon Roger Stone, please, Trump, do it. He's been look. He lied to protect Trump. He was being loyal. He was doing a little small, and it wasn't even a lie. Apparently, like it wasn't a lie. Like he said he didn't have an email that he'd forgotten about, and he actually did have. Yeah, yeah, it's totally unjust, and he should be pardoned. I don't know when the right time would be to do that, but it needs to happen. And uh, you know, I know. See, this is something I haven't really brought up in our show, but it's a realization I kind of made through this and other things, like Alex Jones too, is the left's new tactic that they're really, really loving now because it works so effectively. Is if they can't take you down by banning you, they're just not gonna ban you. They're not just gonna, make your life a little miserable that way, and they're not just gonna call you a Nazi or fascist or whatever. They're gonna drag you through the courts. Because if they drag you through the courts, they can kill you financially. That's the one thing they couldn't touch with Alex Jones at first. They could take his Twitter, they could take his website, they could take so many things from. Well, I didn't take away the website yet, but you know what I mean. Like they could take all these, his YouTube, all these platforms from him. But the one thing that frustrated them, I think, was they couldn't take his money, because his money is what really keeps InfoWars as big and bold and alive as it is, and allows him to keep, moving even when he loses a platform. Like if he loses YouTube, he makes band.video and can make his own video sites because he has money, and he sells his Super Vitality and all these other things to make money. So what did they do? They realized they could drag him through the courts, with all kinds of legal fees and shit, to suck him dry. And that's what they did. They dug up his Sandy Hook shit that was really old, and everybody kind of, thought, okay, Alex went too far in this one, but that's it. Nobody thought to actually sue him over it, and so they started collecting shit. These left-wing activists started collecting shit and decided that this was how do you kill Alex Jones, is by dragging him through the courts, sucking him dry of legal fees, sucking all his money. And that's what they did. They learned it worked. They did it to Roger, and dragged him through the courts for nothing. And he's lost more than $3 million in legal fees. Most of his life savings, most of his money is just gone because of this. And when you kill somebody financially, there's no going back unless they can make up money somehow. But when you're banned on all these platforms, how do you do that? Well, he tried to get a retrial, but they denied him. I forget the counts they stuck him with, but he would face, how many, was it 3 years in prison, I think, for what he did? It's something insane. Yeah. 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 No, this is Roger. Oh, Alex Jones just had to pay fees to the families. I think he had to pay like $100,000 each family or something like that, or 200,000, something like that. Yeah. And Brennan, Clapper, Comey, all these other people that have lied under oath. Yeah. But Alex, see again, and the thing is, there's a total double standard, and what I am frustrated with conservatives on, other than protesting and not socially distancing and using masks, is when we don't stand by these people, when we don't defend these people, when we don't help these people. That's why I give credit to Tucker, I give credit to Handy, I give credit to Milo, Tommy Robinson, and other people that have stuck up for Roger Stone. Alex Jones stuck up for him. But people like Roger Stone are bankrupt because of what they standing up for what they believe in, and doing nothing wrong in the system, killing them because they support Trump. People like Tommy Robinson have gone to prison because of what they believe in, and have almost been killed for what they were standing up for, what they believe in. These people are putting Alex Jones sucked with legal fees because of what he believed in. These people are putting actual skin, blood, and money into the game when other people aren't, or other people are making the safe moves to keep the money flowing, to stay safe, stay on all these platforms. But these people are putting serious risk into it, and nobody on the right really defends them except a few good people. And that's what really bothers me. You don't see Roger getting big hour-long shows on Fox News. You don't see Ben Shapiro inviting him on. I think Huckabee invited him on, which is good. But you don't see all these other... I mean, people shit on Charlie Kirk, but guess who had him on his podcast was Charlie fucking Kirk. he had Stone on. And Trump even retweeted a tweet where Charlie Kirk said, retweet this if you want to pardon Roger Stone or something like that. So, let's give Charlie credit where credit's due for stuff like that. And, um, and Trump is listening. Same thing with Laura Loomer. Put some serious skin in the game. She's been banned from everything. And she's running for Congress now and had a big piece in the New York Post. And even Trump retweeted that, which was huge. Huge. So guess what? Your favorite state. No, 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 no. We were just talking about. Yep. Yeah. Well, funny thing is, she is running in the district where Mar-a-Lago resides. And what did Trump do? He changed his voting location or permanent residency to Mar-a-Lago. Theoretically, this would be the most epic thing ever. Trump could vote for Laura Loomer, which means there's a good chance he could endorse her too. That would be epic. I know, but it gives him there's more of an incentive, a symbolism behind it. It'd be just so cool. But somebody like her, I strongly support getting into Congress because if she was a representative, oh my God, it would just be a fireworks show every day. It'd be awesome. Like, as the article said, she'd be the right wing AOC. It'd be fantastic. But she'd be the one person that would, if you really want big tech censorship to be fixed, I mean, and you're smart enough to know that it needs government intervention, the only person that will make that happen is Laura Loomer. I'm convinced now. She's the only one because she's the only one, though, if she wins, she'd be the only one in Congress that's actually felt the effects of it. Nobody else has done anything. She'd be the only one. If you really want to fix big tech censorship, get her in. I think there's some shadow banning, but there's no full-on banning. She'd be the only one that'd be in Congress that's been banned from major platforms, if that's better. But she would just be fantastic. She's the only one that has a chance of winning. She's raised so much money, record-breaking amounts of money, way more than her Democratic rival, who normally raises a shit ton. And she's raising more than AOC ran at this time. She's got a solid shot, and she's got some big backings already, like Judge Janine. It's a funny district where it has voted Republican before. It used to be hard red, I think, and then it started going back and forth, and it's been voting Democrat for a while now, but it hasn't had any serious Republican competition. And if you look at the demographics of the district, if you look at a bunch of other things, there is a chance you can swing it. There is a path to victory, and it's a hard path, but it's not out of the question. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you mean mayor? He isn't doing that yet, but if see again, Trump Jr. I think he retweeted a thing about Loomer too, or has paid some attention to it. If she gets some major endorsements from the Trumps and some recognition, she could really because when Trump says, "Hey, vote for this person," people listen. There, Roy Moore. Did he even endorse him? I forget what happened with that, but Roy Moore is a whole, different situation where he had fucking sexual allegations against him. So Loomer though has a lot of promise, and I hope people are spreading good word about her because she can't. She's banned, so it's up to us. Again, this to circle back to my main point, which is that conservatives need to defend their own, stand up for their own, especially the ones that risk shit and lose shit because of it. Yeah, it's because I said Laura Loomer, and YouTube was like, nope. Aw. No, we're getting Carol Baskin's Minions. Oh god, every time she said that, I fucking cringed. Yes, Red Corona, Alex Jones. He's my spirit animal. Hmm. I mean, I mean, see, Alex Jones is like, he's one of those people. The more you listen to him, the more you're like, shit, what is he really wrong about? I mean, he was right about that. This isn't that crazy. I mean, it's like, he's one of those people that grows on you. He really does. Same with Jacob Wall. Speaking of OnlyFans accounts, Jacob Wall got an OnlyFans account to troll him. It's pretty funny. You might be able to sell exclusive videos, but podcasts, and maybe photos. But speaking of, have you gotten a TikTok yet? Oh boy. Oh shit! You downloaded the Chinese spyware and got a TikTok. It's not as bad as TikTok. I don't have Zoom on my phone. Oh wait, no, shit, I do. Fuck, never mind. Okay, Zoom was a necessity. TikTok is a choice. The thing is, I saw a bunch of people like Nick Fuentes, a lot of Groypers, a lot of right wing people, even Sargon, like going on TikTok. And look, I get why they're doing it because they're not banned there yet, but you're not safe on there, guys. I personally think it's a waste of time going on there because they've already banned Tommy Robinson, who's only on there for like a few fucking like, seconds, and Nick Fuentes was on there, got banned quickly, created another account, got banned, created another one, got banned. Like, guys, it's no different. It's worse than big tech, I'd argue. I know Alex disagrees with me on that, but you're going to get banned. Don't waste your time and effort on it. Build more permanent solutions. I think, look, here's the thing. I know I'm missing out. Like, I know there's a lot of fun, interesting content on there, and I do envy people that are on it to some degree, but I can still see it on the web version. Like, you go on their website, they now have it's kind of buggy, but they have a web version where, if people like share a TikTok, you can see it on the web. You can go to creators' pages, all that jazz. But, I do wish I could be in it more, but I just can't trust it. It's fucking Chinese spyware. I just can't trust it. Yeah, but I need it for school. Oh, really? Why do your guests want to use Zoom? I mean, I'm glad that Discord's finally rolling out video and servers. I don't know if your server has that now, but ours just got like a week ago where you can not only like live stream a game or something or screen share, or do voice chat. You can also do video too in a server. So I fully recommend Discord to people. That to me is by far the best, especially the audio quality is far superior, and the video too. No, no, yeah, we would have seen that. I mean, we're on the poor people's free plan, and it's great. I mean, it's always sounded way cleaner and better just overall. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would recommend on your streaming software, again, I don't know what it is or how it works. See if you can use the Discord video like with it, cuz that's your best option for the best video quality and audio quality. Yes. And that's, yeah, that's complicated. But the audio you can get to work on Discord. Like when we do our streams, you can get the audio to stream the audio out. What I did was I created a sound. Yeah, I used Soundflower, and I created a in the MIDI setup thing on the Mac. I created a thing where I combined the Soundflower with my built-in audio out, so I could still hear it while it's when I set it to my sound device, my audio out. So I was able to solve that issue, and in OBS, I set it to go to that. And when I'm streaming, I don't even have to change that in the settings. I'm with with Discord. If you set the audio out in Discord to the thing where the two are together, the Soundflower, and your audio out. I could explain this better if you need to, but let's just call it Soundflower for now. If you set the audio out to Soundflower in Discord, you don't need to do it in the system setting, and it always works, and there's no problem. Yeah. Well, we've been on for like what, 2 hours now? How long we been going? Shit, we're always power. We always have power hours. Ooh. Yeah, you guys need to do some fucking super chats if you want that. Mm-hmm. What's this called again? Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But it's only available on Windows. Don't think I'm gonna fucking haul out my Windows PC for that, Alex. Hear that, Alex? Great machine. Telling ya. Should have four of SSD. Hmm. I don't think actually my family has yet, but I know a lot of other people that have. Oh, nice. Those are sexy. I've never really like. I don't know if it's a me thing, but I would see people like physically like writing notes on their iPads in class. Like I could just never see myself doing that. To me, it's so much better to type it. Mm. Yeah. Well, the thing too is like the funny thing is fuck, what was I gonna say? Shit, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, I just don't write things down anymore. I can't remember. Literally, I'm trying to think of the past few months. The last time I ever picked up a pencil and paper and like wrote something down. Like unless it's some sort of document I need to sign or something, I write all my reminders on my phone that syncs to my Mac. I write all my notes on my Mac, and I just do everything digitally because I just don't like carrying around paper or extra things. I like everything simplified. I mean, I put all my credit cards on my phone, shit like that. Yeah, yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. No, nah. Because not everywhere accepts Apple Pay. That's the problem. It'll probably happen one day. They'll probably force you to do it. Well, that's what Bill Gates and Google want to do in Apple. See, I'm honest with you. Like, as long as it's voluntary, I don't really have a like care if people do, like that's kind of like their loss, not my loss. But if it's mandatory, then like yeah, fuck that. That's overboard. But if it's a voluntary thing, hey, if you want to do that, cool. Mm. Yeah, but the car has benefits, but yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to. It's funny. I'm in the Penn State Minecraft server, and there's a well, there's this section at Penn State called the Allen Street Gates, and people always protest there. Like it's notorious for that. So people actually put protest signs here. Like some say, like we like our guns, we hate our guns. Trump 2020, no more frozen yogurt. Society bad. Sign up to vote. Bernie 2020, we live in a society. COVID-19 is a government scam. Animals are meant for eating. I'm gonna add one that says uh, Krusty Krab unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there. Somebody actually did that at one of the protests. Wasn't that the frat one, Alex? We have info warriors everywhere. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to shut her down soon. Yeah, speaking of that, actually, I just remembered something. When he had I forget who it was on. They were talking about Howard Stern, and they mentioned how he did this like there was this leaked meeting of his where he was in this sort of auditorium and he gave this super corporate uh, spiel to all his employees, and he was talking about how every we make people they come on our show and then they go to number one on the charts, and he was talking like really corporate shit that he would always mock supposedly. And I was like, damn, that just kind of ruined Howard for me. Mm-hmm. I was just sort of becoming one. Like I never really followed him much before, and I started hearing about some of the stuff he's done, and I started watching some of his interviews, and I was like genuinely impressed. And I heard this, and I was like, I kind of killed it for me because like when people would say he's a sellout now, I didn't really know what they meant until I saw that. I'm like, yeah, he kind of did sell out. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the interrupting, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I genuinely appreciate that, and that's what we try to do on our show is like let everybody talk and have just a natural conversation without people butting in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the problem is like he's so out of touch with the podcasting thing, and he kind of views it as like this low art form, and it's kind of like what movies used to look at TV as, or Hollywood used to look down on TV, and Howard looks down on podcasts. And it's like, oh, Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. It's a totally uh, over the overtaking of radio and all those other forms of long form audio content. Like it's definitely a big deal, and I think I guess in 2008 maybe people weren't really seeing it. Yeah, I guess I don't remember that time too well, so I kind of get that. But ever since like around I guess you could say maybe 2010, 12 is when I really started taking off. And I mean, Joe Rogan's done a lot of episodes, so it. I don't know. I think Howard kind of has a real ego to him. That's what it feels like to me. Like he's came off quite as quite of a jerk in that video I saw. I'll have to send it to you 'cause it's eye opening. Uh, I think it was the same one because I don't know if it was specifically about Lady Gaga, but he was saying that constantly. He's like, we made this person. This person didn't have a hit record to us. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's some truth to it. Don't get me wrong, the publicity of going on that show, but there's so many people that were already a thing before him, you know. I saw some of it, yeah. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly he definitely was a groundbreaking thing in his time, but everybody else has kind of become him and in many ways exceeded him. Apparently, oh sorry. The last thing I was gonna mention is it's just breaking a few minutes ago. Kim Jong Un's train spotted at coastal resort. Intel reports Scotch death rumors. Scotch death. What the fuck does that mean? I don't think he's dead at all. I think it's fake news, to be honest. I mean, there's certain things that just, given what we're living in right now, don't make sense. Like, they're like, oh, he hasn't been at any public ceremonies or done shit like that. I'm like, well, nobody's been doing that right now. I don't think he's that stupid. Like, he wouldn't be in large crowds. But, I mean, is it possible he's dead? Yes. Or that he's in a vegetable state? Yes, there's a possibility. But I think it's more likely that he is alive than anything else. Yeah, I don't believe it. I heard that. Yeah. Yeah, Sister Wars, the execution of the surgeon. Now, Sam. You really want to get banned now? I mean, you're already demonetized. You're already shadow banned. This will get you banned. Susan Wojcicki's like, no. A woman will bring North Korea into a new progressive era. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that news story. Yeah, and then I did click on it, and then it basically was saying, like, the intel that we have is basically saying that it's very unlikely he's dead. And then the reason I initially thought this, like, I mean, I was kind of 50-50 on it, and then I read something Scott Adams said because he had experience with TMZ, and insider reports, and he told me, or he didn't tell me, he told his followers on Twitter, like, yeah, that's when you know that it's fake news. Like, it's very unlikely. Yeah, thank you for having us on. We got a bunch after the Sargon thing. Mm-hmm. Oh shit! What did I say? Because I talked during 90% of that. Oh, nice. Oh, so Google account. Oh yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that's really weird. Could he at least play the anchor uh recording? Yeah, that is weird. At Versa News Media on Twitter. I know Phil's. I don't know if he's still on. Is at Dictator Phil. Um, at Versa News Media on everything: Facebook, Twitter, Gab. Oh, actually, no. I think Gab is at Versa Media. I forget, but you'll find it. It'll be our logo. And on YouTube, of course, for all our videos and the current live stream we're doing of the Penn State campus in Minecraft is on Versa Media on YouTube. You can go to that. And you can find it on our Twitter handle if you go to Versa News Media. Or just type on YouTube Versa News or Versa Media, and it will come up with the big red eye of Horus. I should still probably upgrade that logo, but you can see all of our cool interviews with Milo, Mike Cernovich, Sargon Vakad, Hunter Avalone. We didn't even get into Hunter. That's an interesting story in and of itself that we can save for another time. Well, did you see his recent? I'll do in a few minutes because I do need to get to bed. But did you see his recent videos on quote why I left the right, as he put it? Well, then actually, then it's good. Then we can definitely save it for another time. Then you need to watch that video, and then watch the quarterings video on Hunter Avalone. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I just learned about him through all this. Watch those two videos, and you will see the situation. Sweet. Uh-oh. This sounds good. Oh, shit. I was I was gonna say I've heard that. I was gonna bring that up. Well, if maybe Phil, I don't know if you'd want him on that stream, but tell Jeff, to reach out to us through our Twitter or something, and we can definitely set that up. I mean, we could definitely have him on our show. We haven't had a guest on in ages, and I know it'd be a fun time with him. I mean, I didn't get to talk to him much. I kind of want to, but I think he's familiar with me, obviously through the various things I've done. Uh, oh boy. Oh really? All I did was show up, and then a few times participated. Um, because I knew I was a token conservative in there, other than one other guy. But yeah, I mean, I even though I disagree on Sam for a lot of things, I did enjoy his class. And Jeff seems like a decent guy. I mean, again, it's one of those things where with college, you gotta live it as much as you can every day, because you don't know when it's gonna be gone. You don't know if there's gonna be a global pandemic that fucks everything up. So it's a good thing I took Sam's class when I did, because I was debating whether doing the fall or spring, and thankfully I picked the fall, or else it wouldn't have happened the same way. Yep. Yep. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna cut our stream too, because I was waiting for a few seconds till we hit 3 hours. This is our first 3 hour stream, and boom, we hit 3 hours. So we're gonna officially say we did a 3 hour stream. Thank everyone for tuning in to Real News Quarantined. Thank you for Sam for participating in this simulcast. We will see you guys again next week. As always, please stay safe, subscribe, and wash your hands.